Hello and welcome to The Business, the show that's essential listening for the West Herts business community. Today we're falling all Christmassy, so much so that we've been down to the market, the Christmas market, down by the Abbey in St Albans to meet those who are selling their wares, spreading Christmas cheer and generally giving us all of that feel-good feeling. As it's our last show of the year, we've got Beckfords Ltd, Councillor for St Albans City and District Council, who will be in the studio to join us to talk about the year just gone in St Albans and local districts, and to offer some opinions on some of the clips we're going to play you on the Christmas market. Speaking of which, we encountered so many people when we were there. We encountered first-timers, people who were there at the market for the first time, seasoned pros, lots of unusual gifts, lots of good food, lots of people there promoting company awareness very effectively. But how was it for the market visitors? What were the good points and the bad points? As ever, to discuss that and many other things, I'm with Clare McAnulty. Good evening, Clare.
Good evening.
And what have you seen on this sort of Christmassy edition? What's in the news as far as you're concerned?
Well, I picked up a story really about mobile phone etiquette or the lack of it.
Yes.
And this week the papers were full of the photograph of the Danish Prime Minister,
yes,
Helle Thorning-Schmidt, taking a selfie.
A selfie, we love
it. A selfie,
yeah.
A photo using your own mobile phone with our Prime Minister, David Cameron, and American President Barack Obama.
Yes.
Under normal circumstances, this might have been all right, but they were attending Nelson Mandela's memorial service at the time, so the papers were full of how this was really not very appropriate.
Yes.
And really the question I was going to ask was, do we now need to develop a new etiquette when dealing with mobile phones? Should we kind of slightly more sort of a formalised what's acceptable, what isn't?
I tell you what, I saw that, and I couldn't help but notice. I mean, slightly out of the selfie, there's a picture of someone taking the selfie. Sorry, someone was taking the selfie someone was taking the picture of them doing a selfie, and of course Michelle was slightly over to one side, looking for. I'm sure she didn't even know it was happening. It was one of those kind of unfortunate juxtapositions. I don't know, do you need sort of etiquette on these things? I mean, it all ties up with the debate sometimes we have around social media in business and so on. I think it was just a bit of harmless fun that was kind of a bit over exaggerated. I think there must be an etiquette on funerals generally, of which social media, it's just it's a part, whether it's social media or anything else. There's a way you behave and a way you don't behave at funerals.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. And again, it was rather unfortunate. Michelle Obama in the background it made her look as though she was very disapproving. But as you say, she probably wasn't really aware it was going on. But I mean, one of the other reasons I mentioned it was we had an incident earlier on in the year. I don't know if you remember. It was Sainsbury's, and one of the cashiers refused to serve one of the customers because the customer was speaking on her mobile phone, and the cashier felt this was rather rude.
Yes.
But I did look up, and I sort of thought, well, I'm just going to look up and see what the actual proper etiquette is on this. So I looked up Debrett's, who have written a handbook. They've got a handbook on manners and etiquette. Now, they say...
It's not 140 characters or less, is it? I mean,
it's no. It's a big, thick book. So they say, don't carry on mobile phone calls while transacting other business in banks, shops, on buses and so on. It is insulting not to give people who are serving you your full attention. So that's their word on the subject. And I mean, I do agree with that, because actually last week when I went into a shop, somebody was serving me while they were still on their mobile phone.
Yeah.
And apart from being a bit rude, I just think it's not very good business practice, which we should all be sort of trying to do. That said, we all are a little bit guilty of it, myself included. So yes. I think we should maybe just all become a little bit more aware of it.
I think you're probably right. I saw a story. I mean, it's a kind of heartwarming a story, or something good coming out of something bad. Really, is that the latest tranche of money gathered from UK banks as a result of libel fines has been allocated to 24 military charities. There's a 12 million instalment being used to fund projects including housing and mental health support schemes for military veterans, and it means that 35 million has now been distributed to nearly 100 charities. And so the Chancellor has sort of said of the latest instalment, it's right that money paid in fines by people who demonstrated the worst of the values in society is now being used to help and support those who demonstrate the very best. couldn't agree more. It's wonderful to see something great come out of something absolutely awful. But I kind of, there's a bit of me that feels good and bad about this. That I do not wish that actually the bad thing hadn't happened in the first place in terms of the LIBOR scandal, and I don't know, something good out of something bad. It's one of those yin and yang things, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I think it does make us feel a little bit better about at least the money going to something good. So there is that aspect of it, and then probably is a bit of damage limitation as well. Yeah.
I think it's nice. I mean, they're just a list of some of the charities, all good causes. Veterans First Point, a charity staffed by military veterans to establish a number of mental health support centres in Scotland. House for Heroes, Scotland. Welsh charity Change Step. Alabama Christian Care. I mean, the list goes on, and it is nice. I mean, I don't want to be sort of Ebenezer about all this, but I think that there's a sort of mixed feeling about all that. We have Beric Reid coming into our studio any moment now, and after we've had these messages that are just coming up, we'll be getting very Christmassy and talking about the market and such like. I mean, Beric, of course, is a counsellor himself, so I'm sure he's sort of itching to say a few things about those stories just now. But we'll play a few messages, and then we'll come to the Christmas market.
Hi, this is Danny Smith. Join me weekdays from 4 till 7 p.m. for West Hart's Drive Time, with features including Chris's Film Club, Pound Saver, Community Notice Board, Calendar Artist, Hot Topics and many more besides. We also feature correspondents covering topics such as lifestyle, consumer advice, cooking, interior design and travel. We have regular interviews, local news and sports, celebrity birthdays, travel and traffic updates and competitions as well. That's all on West Hart's Drive Time with me, Danny Smith, on 92.6 FM, Radio Verulam.
Mount Carmel Kindergarten.
Has your child outgrown day nursery? Would you like them to attend a more structured environment with a wide range of interesting and challenging activities?
I like cooking stuff with Mrs. Federici.
Mount Carmel Kindergarten in Sandpit Lane is now offering extended sessions, so even if you work, your child can enjoy an outstanding environment that prepares them for school and is somewhere they will want to go to every day.
I like playing games. I love my teachers.
For more, see our website at mountcarmelkindergarten.co.uk. Mount Carmel Kindergarten, private education for little people.
Mount Carmel Kindergarten.
You're listening to The Business on Radio Verulam. We're the voice of the local business community on 92.6 FM and on radioverulam.com.
You're listening to Radio Verulam. It's about 10 minutes past the hour. Now, the Christmas market, as by way of introduction for those who don't know, I mean, the market was a fantastic innovation this year. But in many ways, it represents the first form of retailing that there's ever been. Marks and Spencers and Tesco's and giants like that all started out with stalls in a market. M&S started in Leeds, Tesco in Hackney in London, and Christmas markets generally went back as far as the 13th century across Austria and Germany. I've got Beric Reid in the studio with me. I mean, Beric, I know there were many people involved in setting up this Christmas market, but what was the thinking about it? I know you were one of the people who was pushing for it in the first place. Maybe just tell us a little bit about the thinking behind it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that helps drive footfall. It helps bring people into the city. But obviously, we've got a lovely cathedral. We are Cathedral City. There aren't any other cathedral cities around us. We are a very logical place for that sort of market. Yeah. And it is a fairly high-end market, which is exactly the sort of thing we're pushing. We've got a lot of independent shops as well. So it really is just a very good fit. Yeah. And we're working, more and more with the cathedral as well to try and work together as a city in the cathedral. So it really just fits very well, I think.
Yeah, we had a wonderful time down there, didn't we, Clare? And also Vicky was there at various points. Should we just listen to a few clips? We'll start with one who's somebody who was there for the very first time. Laura Dannan from Handmade in St Albans. She had a stall there. Called actually the business was called the Heartwood Candle Company, and this is what she had to say about her excitement about being there.
How's the market going for you?
Well, it's really exciting because this is our first day, and we make our candles. We're from St Albans, and so actually to do the first ever Christmas market here is just really exciting for us. And it's been busy this morning. It's been great, and people coming up to us and giving us great comments. And yeah, we're just in our first Christmas in our hometown is brilliant.
And would you have a shop normally, or are you thinking of having a shop? Is this a way of just checking out, seeing what people are buying?
Well, at the minute we've got a website which is heartwoodcandlecompany.co.uk, and we're not in any retailers as yet. We just started earlier this year, but certainly next year, it would be fantastic to kind of get some visible presence in St Albans so that people can pop somewhere to smell them as well before buying.
And you're selling all types of candles there. Are you noticing that certain smells are getting more customers than others?
Well, just to say, firstly, all our candles are 100% natural. That means we use no artificial fragrances, and they're only essential oils in a natural wax. But our Christmas candles are very popular. We have a sweet orange, clove and cinnamon one, and also a vetiver, cedarwood and spruce, which is lovely. It smells like a Christmas tree. So they've been popular. But then our bergamot and geranium, bergamot's an antidepressant, and geranium is very balancing. So happy and balancing also seems popular at this time of year. Do you know what? There's a really great atmosphere. There's a mulled wine stall just round the corner, so it might be morning, but we've already had a mulled wine each. And there's just a lovely atmosphere. Everyone seems happy and it's quite relaxed, and the other stall holders are lovely too. So
the other thing I noticed, you've all got wooden huts.
I think that the council who've put this on, they've done a great job. They wanted it to kind of feel like a German style market, so the wooden huts just add to that. And yes, there is the practical protection as well if it does happen to rain, and they kind of look festive as well.
And that was Laura Dannan from the Heartwood Candle Company. Berwick, you went down there early today, in fact. I know there's been a change of stall holders. There's some people on some weeks and some on the others, but she sounded very excited, didn't she? I mean, there seemed to be a general sense of excitement, I thought, about the whole market generally.
Yes, I think there has been, and it's great when you've got a new business like that as well, because it's an ideal opportunity for them to try things without taking out the shop and things like that, and to actually get direct interaction with the public, which obviously if you're supplying a shop you don't get. So that's very good. There's another stall there as well doing hampers and things as well, that was a first time new business as well. So it was really good. Annoyingly I've missed her, so I'm going to have to go on her website now. But I think it's really useful for that sort of business, and to get things that you don't get in the shops as well, to the same sort of quality of unique sort of projects.
Absolutely.
And again, as Beric mentioned, they have an e-commerce site, that actually a very, very nice website. So she's obviously done the website first, then she's gone and just to try out to see, as you heard from the interview, there were certain candles selling better than others. Yeah. And again, that's all very good research. If you're going to go and open a shop, you want to know what ones are going to sell better, and so it's a very good way of doing research without having to pay out large sums of money.
I found her very engaging, talking to her off air after she'd done the interview with you, and she was just so full of enthusiasm. She seemed very happy to see us as well, and it was lovely to see her. So Laura, I hope you had a fantastic time. She's also on the Twitter sphere, of course, at Heartwood Candle. and I think she's followed us already, actually, Claire. So that's always a good sign.
Happy to give a plug to a small business. There's a couple more days for deliveries as well on their website. You can still order.
Oh, is that right?
You can still order for a couple more days.
Goodness me! I think, Laura, you've had a good deal out of this. Anyway, we're going to get on to the next clip, and Mary Sirett started a jewellery business in 2009 on her stall in London's Covent Garden, and since then she has exhibited her jewellery at shows up and down the country. Our very own Vicky went and spoke to her and asked her how the St Albans market was going.
So you've got a beautiful stall here full of lots and lots of lovely trinkets that I know that my daughter and I would really love to buy. How are you finding the market this year? It's its first year. How's it gone so far?
Yeah, it's been very good, very nice, very friendly, lots of lovely people. The first day was a bit catastrophic because we had sort of gale force winds and the generator went, and I'd struggled to set up, I have to be honest. So it was all... The first day was like something out of an adventure movie, but since then it's calmed down and I've met a lot of lovely people and I'm thoroughly enjoying it, actually, being at St Albans.
So do you think it's a good idea for St Albans to have a market like this?
I think it's a great idea. It's a beautiful setting. I think it could build. I think it'd be lovely to have some carols and a bit of music.
Oh, that would be nice. A
little bit more festive. But yes, I think it's a lovely event and I think it suits St Albans really well.
And are you here for 2 weeks?
I am here for another week and I've been here for 2 days so far.
And
3 days.
So far so good?
Yes, except for day one, but even that was comical, so that was gave to a lot of laughter. Yes, so far so
That's what you've got to do at Christmas, just have a good day. Well, we hope you have a really, really good day today. You've got some lovely stuff here, and I can't sing, but maybe the choir of the cathedral could come out.
Yeah, I can't even talk at the moment. Okay, thank you.
Cheers.
We're going to have a little bit of singing later on in the show, if I remember, from one or two of the customers. But we'll come to that and reveal that one in a little while. I mean, the first day sounded a bit awkward, though. I mean, Beric, do you know what went on there?
Yes, I think that was her first day, not the first day of the market.
Oh, okay. Right.
Which we had some very bad weather, and they lost all power on the generators.
Right.
Now, I don't actually know yet. There were rumours that it was a lightning strike.
Really?
But it could have been that. It could have been water getting into from horizontal rain. I'm not certain. And when I got the call and they said there's no power, they're going to have to close, and I thought, well, there's not many people going to be going there in this weather.
Yeah.
But life being life, at that point the weather started to clear up. But yes, there's some lessons to be learned when you do something for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable, isn't it? Not everything's going to go tickety-boo at the start, is it? I mean, Vicky sounded like she was having a lot of fun. Sort of talking there. I know she had a great time there, but I mean, that day aside, Mary sounded like she was having a good time, I thought. So.
Yeah, well, this is a lady that she actually does lots and lots of markets. So since 2009, she seems to travel up and down the country doing markets. She also has a website. She sells her jewellery off her website as well. But again, if she's doing the markets, and she's been doing the markets for a number of years, it obviously works for her, works very well. And again, she sells they're slightly quirky things that you wouldn't necessarily buy elsewhere. She had some really, really lovely jewellery. What I liked as well in the interview that Vicky did with her was that she gave some good advice. Yeah. And given that she's someone that does a lot of markets, it's good to take her advice. So she's suggesting that perhaps some carols, some music would add to the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So I would definitely take that on board, given that she's someone who knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. She knows a good one when she sees one. Right. Well, we'll be back with more from the Christmas market right after these messages.
Hi, I'm Kathy Weston.
And I'm Lydia L. Curry.
Join us every Thursday evening on The Parent Show for expert interviews, local information about caring for children in West Harts,
and a What's On guide you just can't afford to miss. We're here every Thursday between 8 and 9 p.m. on Radio Verulam 92.6 FM.
Don't forget to tune in!
Radio Verulam Community Partners.
Mosaic brings together a group of singers based in and around St Albans, each with a wealth of experience in a wide range of choirs in the UK and abroad. Mosaic have built a repertoire that covers pretty much everything, from Renaissance polyphony to contemporary classics. Bird and Berlin, Victoria and Vaughan Williams, Gesualdo and Gershwin, and many, many more. And they have pieced this all together to produce performances to the highest professional standards. The concerts they give each year provide you with good music, well sung, that is appreciated and enjoyed. For more details, visit mosaicchamberchoir.co.uk.
For more on Radio Verulam Community Partners, go to radioverulam.com/community partners. You're listening to The Business on Radio Verulam. We're the voice of the local business community on 92.6 FM and on radioverulam.com.
Welcome back to The Business. One of the other things that you do find at markets is quite often you can pick up quite quirky, unusual gifts that you can't pick up elsewhere. And I actually spotted this product, which was called the iWood amp. And what it looks like, it's like a little wooden stand, and you stick the iPad in the stand, the little wooden stand, and it actually amplifies the sound on the iPad. It's made by Benedict O'Boyle, who's a local furniture maker, and he actually discovered it when his daughter had been given an iPad as a present, and she was sort of waving it about, dancing to music.
Yes.
And he thought, it'd be a lot easier if I could sit it in something. So he actually, because he's a furniture maker, just made a piece of wood, just cut a groove in a bit of wood, and then realised that it amplified the sound. So from that, he then has developed this iWood amp. So I did notice it, but actually Vicky got there before me. So this is Vicky doing her interview.
She always gets there before us.
Yes.
Anyway, this is what happened when they met.
So I'm here with Ben's mate, and I know Ben from Wheat Hampstead. He's produced this fantastic new system, which is a very simple way of enhancing your iPad volume, and we can hear it in the background. But this is, oh right, you can see how the difference it makes. Go on, do that again. And back in. Wow, it's a superb piece of kit, all based on how wood enhances sound.
Yeah, it naturally enhances the sound of the tablet, just using the acoustic curve we have on the bottom here, and the sound's reverberated out and forced back out into the room. It's portable as well, like, you can pop it in your bag and take it wherever you like, in the garden,
It's brilliant, and we've already got a crowd just because we're doing that. How's it going here?
Yeah, it's going very well, got a lot of interest, people are very intrigued by the thing.
It's an easy one to show off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now we're being shown up by the bells of the Abbey.
Well, shining, don't worry.
Are you finding that the organisation of the market's good?
It seems to be a very, very good operation they've got here. Lots of people coming through. It's clearly well advertised. It's really good. So
you're happy?
I'm happy. I'm very happy.
Are you here all day?
I'm here all day. I wish it was a bit warmer, but
I was going to say, I feel like your mum, but you don't, because I've got enough clothes on.
I'm all right. I'll survive.
Actually, there's mulled wine just round the corner.
I'll be having a look at that a bit later on, I think.
Well, I hope you have a really, really good day. And
as for you,
you're called Wooden.
We've got the iWood amps, which is a separate thing, and then we've got Benedict's fine furniture as well.
So good luck.
That's the second time that mulled wine has been mentioned, and obviously it was a bit of a theme. I couldn't help but notice it myself. Vicky getting all motherly. It was a bit breezy actually, but certainly on the day I went there. I have to say I'm still not sure. I'm not very good with these technical things. I'm not sure I quite understand it. How does it work? I don't quite get it.
Well, it's basically it's a piece of wood, and by treating the wood in a certain way, you can the sound. I'm not quite sure exactly how it happens, but the sound is amplified through the wood. It doesn't need batteries or anything.
Right.
But I think Beric, you've seen it, haven't you?
I haven't actually. I missed that, unfortunately. But I assume it's basically a gramophone horn.
Yeah, I mean you've got an engineering background.
So I'm a physicist. Yes. But yes, I assume it's a horn of sorts, really, which naturally resonates out and amplifies.
But isn't it wonderful to see sort of innovation? I mean, people associate innovation with huge sort of R&D budgets, and boffins in labs and things like that. But actually, here's a guy who, his daughter was doing something, and he just sort of came across it, and then actually had the sort of the wit to sort of develop it. It's fantastic. And anyway, should we move on with our next clip? This is Andrew, and he's going to tell us all about bird boxes, and you'll find out why in just a second.
My name's Andrew, and we are Beckfords Ltd, and we're operating the Garden Birdhouse, and we're selling a range of bird boxes and bird feeders.
Right. Okay. And is that often a much sought after sort of Christmas present? Is it a bit of a seasonal thing, perhaps ahead of the spring?
Certainly, it is. It's one of these stalls that if you're not sure what to buy your grandparents or mother, then it's a handy little Christmas gift.
Right. And are you based locally in any case, or?
I'm based locally, but the business is just purely a Christmas market business and doesn't operate throughout the year.
So, I mean, just looking at these these bird boxes now, there's a sort of delightful range. I mean, maybe if you could you point through a sort of through your range from the sort of least expensive to the most, and what the differences are really, just a few maybe.
Certainly, our range starts from a basic bird nest for £8.
Yes.
Then going up to a basic wooden box for £13.
Yeah.
Up to a beach hut design for £20.
Yeah.
And then we go on to more robust nest boxes, 25 for a cedar cabin, and 22 for a Portland cabin with a slate roof.
Right.
For added protection.
And would you say that this is something that that this is something that's interesting people of all ages, or is it something that of people who are sort of slightly generationally challenged, shall I say?
No, certainly these are product ranges that appeal to all ages, from children up to 90 plus. Everybody loves birds. If you've got a garden, why not encourage the birds into your garden, feed them, provide them with some nesting material and a box.
Right. And in terms of the market itself, I mean, has it gone well from your point of view so far?
I only started the market on Sunday. We had a very busy day on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday a bit quieter, as you'd expect.
Yeah.
Today, with a market day in St Albans, it seems a lot busier.
Right. Okay. So the location of this, is that working in your favour? Would you be preferred to be sort of a bit further up?
I personally speaking, I think the location is excellent. We've got a great backdrop of the cathedral. It's in a lovely enclosed area. And it's a good start, and hopefully the market continues in future years.
Apologies for introducing Andrew so informally rather. He was Andrew from Beckfords Ltd, and the stall was called the Garden Bird House. I loved it. I loved the atmosphere it was bringing in, the little bird noises that he had in the background there. He was really excellent. I feel ashamed that I asked the question about whether this sort of thing was for certain generations rather than others, generationally challenged. A bit of one of those questions you regret, because once he answered that, actually, it was clear that actually why would it? It's not just something that certain folk like and certain don't. I mean, Beric, I mean, I understand you have an unusual box in your back garden.
I've got a bat box on the back of my house. Yes.
Okay.
Which you have to place quite high up.
Yes.
For bats.
Right.
And then I know recently the cathedrals put swift boxes in.
Right.
On the cathedral, and they have swifts in the area as well. So.
Right. And I mean, just as a business though, I mean, it was really interesting because I mean, we did a show the other week on niche businesses, and you don't get much more niche than this. But he had loads of people around his stall. I mean, it was. If his stall was a bird box, we would all be, trying to get in through the hole, because it was just wonderful to see.
I think as well the way the boxes were done, it was very nice. They were slightly different, and what he explained was his was purely a Christmas market business. He doesn't actually sell them any other time, so he must do well. He must sell a lot of them, and he was certainly attracting a lot of attention. And just to go back on the amp, if people want to have a look at that, because it is actually quite difficult for us to describe what it looked like.
Sorry about that. Yes.
But they do have a website, so if people want to go onto the website, it's iWood-amp.com, and if you go onto that website, you will see pictures of the thing we're speaking about, and there's a little video showing you how it works.
And the bird boxes are still there.
They are.
Yes,
right.
It's there this week.
Excellent news. Now, it's well worth a visit, as indeed are all the stalls down at the St Albans Christmas market. Right, we're going to have another little break, and then we'll be back talking some more about the Christmas market.
The Solid Gold Music Show on Radio Verulam is with you on Saturday mornings between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. Join Derek Staines and Stephen Hall as they flash you back, value discs, have a brief biog and interview the stars. We also allow SJH to ramble down nostalgia lane. It's all on the Premier Oldies show here on 92.6 FM. The Solid Gold Music Show, sponsored by Dockyard of Luton.
Radio Verulam Community Partners.
I don't know what I'd do without good neighbours. Many people say that to our volunteers, and they really mean it. St Albans Good Neighbour Scheme serves local residents who are elderly, unwell, disabled or facing a crisis and do not have close family or a good neighbour to turn to. We provide transport, help with shopping, practical help in the house or garden, and a befriending team available to the housebound or lonely. We urgently need new volunteers to keep the scheme running. Please ring St Albans 830 713 or visit our website sagns.org for more details.
For more on Radio Verulam Community Partners, go to radioverulam.com/community partners. If you want to get in touch with the business on Radio Verulam, phone us on 01727 839 926 or email thebusiness@radioverulam.com.
Welcome back to the business. It's just coming up to 25 to the hour. We've been out and about this week at St Albans Christmas Market, and what a good time we've had. Now we're going to get on to the subject of good food, and in particular cheese. Cheese is absolutely my favourite food, and food and drink of all sorts are popular at markets. And it's lovely to also have lots of aromas sort of wafting around. And I went to speak to Drummond's cheese from Hertford.
Here at what must possibly be my favourite stall in the whole market. Could you just tell me what it is, who you are, and what it is that you're selling?
We're Drummond's cheese from Hertford. We're Hertford based, but we get the cheeses sent from the Cheddar Gorge, where we divide up the cheese wheels, rename them, and they're all mixed cheeses with other ingredients. And we sell them basically at markets such as this.
Right. And I'm just seeing a whole variety of absolutely fantastic cheeses. I mean, maybe you could just tell me a few of your more unusual and exotic ones.
Well, the most unusual I think that we've got here is the lime pickle cheddar, which is reminiscent of the lime pickle that you'd get at the Indian restaurant. So that's a cheddar with that through it. And a Christmas cheese, we've got the Wensleydale, which we call Caribbean Fiesta, and that's got mango, papaya and ginger. Yeah. That's some of the good ones for Christmas.
Yeah.
And we've got Spitfire, which is popular, with chilli, bell peppers and garlic.
Yeah.
But our best sellers are the caramelised onion, and Smoky Joe and Scrumpy Somerset.
Right. How are you finding the market so far? Have you been here most days, and is it busy for you? Or?
We've been here most days. It's been really busy. It's really successful, and the best thing about it is the lovely people of St Albans who are so amenable and nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been really good.
And if somebody wanted to come down to the market, I mean, I'm just trying to describe our location. You're sort of tucked into the walled area, sort of, and I suppose you're the highest stall, aren't you?
The highest stall, that's right. Yeah.
So that's fantastic. And do you have a website if people aren't able to come down to the market but quite like the sound of Spitfire and the like?
Certainly do. If you search engine Drummond's Cheese of Hertford, you'll find us.
You'll find them. Not unless I have found them first.
You've bought up all the cheeses.
And I have found them, and I will buy up all the cheeses if you're not very careful, dear listener. No, I just thought that was wonderful. I just looked at that array, and the smell and the texture of the whole thing was brilliant. I mean, Beric, did you see that stall yourself? Or?
I did, and I must say they had too long a queue, so I didn't get to actually see it myself this time. I shall go back early in the week.
Yes. And Claire, do you?
Yes, and actually, I was mentioning earlier, I had a bit of a market-tastic week because I went to. I went into London yesterday, went to the South Bank, and they had a Christmas market on. And one of the things that I did notice there was lots of the different smells. There was roasting chestnuts, there was pastries. It was full of aroma, and that's what I think is apart from the fact of actually buying food at the market, I think it does add a lot to, you know, it's lovely to get those smells and as a number of people have mentioned, the mulled wine, it's just it all just adds to the atmosphere. I mean, one thing I was quite interested in was that a few people seemed to just have the stall maybe for a day or a couple of days, and I just wondered how that worked, Berwick.
I think it's quite an important point to let people know about this for next year, if not for this year. So
so certainly some of the store holders were there for the whole approximately 4 weeks, 3.5, something 4 weeks. Some were just doing like 2-week slots or sometimes 1 week. We did operate a system where we kind of kept a list for local businesses, where if they just wanted to do a few days, if another local business wanted to do a few days as well, we'd actually team them together so that they could book a week between them effectively.
Right.
And that's especially useful, I think, for people with new products, as we were talking about earlier, or just dipping their foot in sort of Christmas market thing to see what it's like.
Yeah, and in terms of you know, the years to come, I mean, you know, with the stall, obviously we've been trying it for the first year this time. I mean, there's going to be lots of new sort of things tried, or, you know, certain things like flexibility, you know, allowing people to come in for one day or so on. I mean, are you going to have a review once this market's over then? Is there something in the diary, and then you just think what worked and what didn't work?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, there's not many markets even out around cathedrals that are, you know, on an ancient monument.
Yes.
And at the same time are overlooked by people who are living right on top of it.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of sort of unique restrictions. So there's certain things we need to work with like that. But certainly the evenings are the, you know, lovely time for it, and the smells you were talking about, something that we can try and improve on as well. Yeah. We didn't get any chestnuts in there, which I thought we were going to. So certain things you need to tweak.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, and all that. Right, we're going to move on to the issue around promoting awareness generally. I mean, a market's a good place to promote your company, even if you're not directly selling a product. I mean, people are generally in a receptive, happy mood, and they very much seem to be at the Christmas market when we went, up for wandering around and chatting, and there's a lot of easy banter. The atmosphere is very conducive to that. The Marriott Hotel is something you might not have expected to see at a Christmas market, and we were quite intrigued. They've got a number of hotels in Hertfordshire, and Vicky, of course, went and had a word with Caroline Jenkins, the director of sales, and this is what she said.
Oh, we've got some balloons going off in the background here. Now, I'm with the Marriott Hotel ladies and gents, and they're just preparing their stall. It's your first day, I understand.
It is indeed.
Now, I was sort of expecting lots of, you know, German bratwurst and decorations, and there's lots of presents. But I'm surprised to see you here. Tell us exactly why the Marriott Hotel are here.
We're very keen to raise the awareness, really, of the 3 hotels that are in the local area. So it's a great opportunity to come down and really be a part of the market.
Is it something that Marriott would normally do in other cities?
Yes, generally, but I guess really around the corporate side of things, really. But it's we are, of course, leisure hotels as well, so people can come and stay and enjoy themselves without it being about business.
So are you envisaging that there's going to be plenty of visitors to the market that aren't locals?
Yes and no. The locals are so important to us, and not a lot of people know that the Marriott hotels are where they are. But of course, if people are visiting from afar, then great, you know, more the merrier.
More the merrier.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's great. Well, I'll leave you to your balloon popping and
thank you.
Red bows
Ribbon.
and all of that. Have a really great day.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Great way to start an interview with the balloon sort of popping off, isn't it, Claire?
Bit of sound effects in the background. And the Marriott Hotel wasn't the only people that were sort of promoting awareness at the market. I went and saw a chalet which featured the Odyssey Cinema, promotion for the Odyssey Cinema, and they were represented at the market by a lady called Jill Taylor. Their chalet had a mixture of, they had a few items for sale, but they had quite a lot of photographs and information about how the project was going, and I spoke to Jill about why she was there.
Jill, you've got a stall at the Christmas market. Why did you decide to take a stall?
Well, we decided because people are
really, really keen for the cinema to come to St Albans. That goes without saying. But we just felt that we need a bit more of a presence because people have been very patient and waiting for this project to finish. And we just wanted to be able to talk to people. We've had so many people coming to the chalet, asking questions. Time and time again, I've said, summer next year is when we'll be opening. We've also got to do our last little push on a bit of fundraising, so we're selling some nice bits of merchandise, umbrellas, calendars, that sort of thing, just to boost the coffers to get gorgeous, sumptuous velvet seats when we open.
For those that don't know, tell us a little bit then about the project, about the Odyssey Cinema.
Okay, well the Odyssey Cinema is an original Art Deco cinema built in the 30s. People that have been in St Albans for more than 20 years will have visited it at some point. People have got so many memories about when it was the Odeon, when it was the Alpha, when it was the Capitol, and so many people have come and shared their memories with us. It has been lying tragically empty for 20 years while there have been tussles over whether it was going to be flattened, used for housing, etc. And finally, I think, ground down by the people of the fans of the Rex in Berkhamsted and the people in St Albans, James Hannaway, finally caved in and decided that he was actually going to go for buying the Odyssey, which he did with the help of the people of St Albans, and developing it back to its former glory. So it's going to be a fabulous, huge, one-screen, 450-seater Art Deco cinema, working on a repertory basis, exactly the way that the Rex in Berkhamsted does. And I think it's going to be such a welcome boost to St Albans. It's going to be a real community place. There's going to be 3 bars, a restaurant, as well as the cinema, and I think it's going to give the London Road a lift, because it's looking a little bit tired and sad just now, and everybody that comes to the chalet on the market is so excited. So
now, talking a little bit about the market, how has it been? How have you found it?
It's just joyful, actually. It's an eclectic group of lovely market stall holders, and we've had a bit of a scream, actually. It's been a real community feel. And then the backdrop of the cathedral just there with the sun setting on Sunday, it was quite romantic. And, people have said, it's not quite, maybe got the spirit of German markets. But I think it's the first year. Next year will be even better. But I think it's been fun. The smell of mulled wine in the air, and it's great.
So would you say it's been a success then, as far as you're concerned?
For us it has, because it's been mostly for us about information. We'd still love people to come and spend some money with us. We have products ranging from £1 to £1,000. Naming a seat is the £1,000 option, so you can have your seat in a beautiful velvet chair in the Odyssey Cinema forever, or you can have a T-shirt or a bag for £1. So there's something for every purse.
£1,000 to have your seat. Do you know? There's something about my vanity that actually quite likes that. I'm not sure about that, but I mean, but I generally, I can't wait for the cinema to come along. I grew up in Berkhamsted, and the old cinema wasn't, it was a bit of a flea pit, to be honest with you. And then when it came back in, it was absolutely fantastic. And Merritt, you've had a meeting there, I understand, in the past, not there for leisure, but for business.
I've had a meeting, yes. I haven't been able to get a ticket whenever I've tried, unfortunately, to show how successful it is in Berkhamsted.
Yeah.
But I have been there, and it's a lovely building and the way they've done it.
And it's wonderful more generally to see places like the Marriott and the Odyssey sort of actually they're prepared to take a stand for promotion sort of generally. I guess that must be a feature of people who are coming in this year and years to come, I guess.
Yes, I mean, you've got to get a balance when you're organising it. You obviously can't have too many of those.
Yeah.
You've got to get the balance right. But I mean, especially with the Odyssey, that's ours in St Albans.
Yes.
We feel like we own it, and we're very much looking forward to that opening next year.
Yeah.
And it's from an economic development point of view, it's perfect in that it's totally authentic. It is everything. We've got a history of cinema in St Albans from the very early days, and with the name The Odyssey and the link to the Kubrick family and Stanley Kubrick being a local resident, it is the typical sort of thing we want in St Albans. We're trying to develop sort of authentic sort of visitor attractions and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
so
and I mean, it's one of those. I mean, it seems like it's taken a long time to get to this point. I mean, I know that we were hearing there about from Jill about about the struggle to persuade the proprietor of
James Hannaway.
That's it. Thank you. And to start with, but now he's sort of taken on the challenge, and then there was issues around funding. Has the council been involved at sort of various stages? Just so for those people who don't know, in terms of either facilitating or has it been something that's happened?
Yes, no, we've been there, kind of trying to be a helping hand.
Yeah.
It's one of those areas. There's a lot of sort of certification and things the council gets involved with, and it's really trying to be helping in that way rather than in the way.
Yeah.
So yes, we've been trying to help wherever we can, really.
A sort of enabling.
Absolutely, but we're not the ones doing the work.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean, that team have done a lot of work and have been raising a lot of money.
Right.
Still need to raise some more. So any listeners want to help out, I'm sure they'll be very grateful.
And actually, if you go onto the website is, I think Jill mentioned it, but it's odysseypictures.co.uk, and there's a couple of things, a couple of promotions going on just now. One of the promotions, if you put in £10, this is them trying to just raise a bit more funding, put in £10, all the tickets go together, and there'll be a sort of raffle, I think, just before Christmas. But have a look on the website, and you'll see they've still got sort of lots of ideas for raising funds. I mean, the thing for me as well with having them there is a lot of local people will go to the markets, and people do want to know what's going on, and not everybody will go and look on their website. It's nice to have the chalet there and Jill there to answer questions, tell people when it's going to open. And there were some really lovely old photographs of what the before and after type of photographs. I think though, Jill, I don't think she's there this week, but yes, if people have a look on the website, they'll get up to date information.
Okay, and watch out for the Odyssey Cinema, everyone, because I think it'll be quite a feature of next year, and we hope. Okay, we're going to take another little break, and then we'll be rounding up on the Christmas market after that.
Wondering what you could do this weekend? Well, you don't have to go far from home. There's plenty to discover on your doorstep. Join me, Ellie O'Fira, this Friday at midday, when we'll be giving you some great ways to get out and about close to home. That's Out and About, Friday at midday, here on 92.6 FM, Radio Verulam.
Radio Verulam Community Partners.
Through a national network of more than 15,000 trained parent volunteers, Home Start supports thousands of parents who are struggling to cope. Families may need support for many reasons, including postnatal illness, disability, bereavement, and the illness of a parent or child, or social isolation. Parents support other parents to help build a family's confidence and ability to cope. You can find them at 31 Spencer Street, St Albans, and their telephone number is 01727 833 810.
For more on Radio Verulam Community Partners, go to radioverulam.com/community partners.
Give your business a lift with an advertising package from Radio Verulam. Reaching people close to you cost effectively can be hard, but we have the answers. From social media to radio advertising, we can tailor a package to meet your needs. You'll be surprised how inexpensive it can be to advertise on the local radio station for St Albans and West Herts. So help West Herts get to know you better. Email sales@radioverulam.com or call 07722 391 047.
You're listening to The Business on Radio Verulam. We're the voice of the local business community on 92.6 FM and on radioverulam.com.
Yes, you're listening to The Business, and we've only got about sort of 7 or 8 minutes of the show left. So how was it for the market visitors themselves? Every market trader wants a customer. So how did our particular guinea pig customers find the Christmas market? Vicky spoke to a few.
What did you like about the market?
We like these earmuffs that had pandas on them.
You're the second little girl that's told me they like the earmuffs with pandas. What did Dad think about the earmuffs with pandas?
Daddy loved the earmuffs with pandas very much.
Did you find some that would suit you?
No. And
what did you like best?
I liked the there's like a toy and there's like string and you pull it down.
Oh, and its legs sort of shoot up. Ah, right. Oh, that sounds fun too. So what do you think about having a market in St Albans for Christmas?
Fun.
Really good fun.
Really good fun?
Yes.
Good. Something to get up for nice and early.
Yeah, well, the girls sing in the cathedral, so we just came past after that.
Oh no!
And
Would you
Mummy.
sing? Would you sing a little carol for us? Can you do a bit of Jingle Bells?
Jingle bells, bangle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Hey!
Jingle
hang on. I've got to go now, but that was absolutely super. It gave us a lot of festive spirit. And you've been to see Santa too. How lovely. Well, thank you ever so much for telling me all about it. And I hope that Santa comes and gives you loads and loads and loads of presents.
I think we know where Vicky had to go to. She was probably off to the mulled wine store. I think she mentioned it enough times during the course of the show. But that wasn't that lovely, though. That was really nice to hear that. I mean, obviously not a representative sample because they were just they were young girls, but there were people of all shapes and sizes and ages there, weren't there? So.
And again, we have the programme has looked at it from a business point of view, but obviously what matters is what people get from it. And even the little girls have obviously enjoyed it. It's much better than there's more to it than internet shopping. It's an enjoyable experience. The children are out with getting a bit of fresh air and exercise, and it's just a lovely experience. I think the market. I think another point worth mentioning is what we've said throughout the programme is it's actually quite useful for different sorts of businesses to try things out. So for first timers who've not got shops, for people that are maybe selling products and want to check them out. Just wonder what you thought about that, Beric. Did you find there was quite a mixture of people wanting to take chalets out at the Christmas market?
I think there was, and also sort of local. We've heard of a few local businesses as well trialling new products, or indeed there's at least 2 new businesses where they're actually doing a stall before they've got a shop or any other way to market. So it certainly seems to help with that sort of area very much so.
And just in general, I think it's just a nice thing for St Albans to have. And then quite a lot of people did mention the fact that what an amazing backdrop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just perfect.
It was just wonderful sort of being there. I mean, that area, is normally an area for sort of quiet reflection, and people just go in there. And actually, it was, and in a way, it just felt really nice with that surrounding wall. I know there were some stalls outside of that wall, but even so, it just felt like a really nice sort of, it was on the edge of history, if you like, and it was wonderful to be there. In terms of sort of plans, generally, so the plan is to, we've said about sort of taking on feedback and developing it. So how does this fit into sort of like the bigger picture for sort of business and engagement? Maybe if we start just quickly, like what have been your sort of highlights of the year, and then maybe we'll just look forward a bit.
Lots of things during the year. I suppose the correct place to state with the highlights is the more difficult end, which is obviously the last few years haven't been the best for business.
Yeah.
But St Albans were doing fairly well. Unemployment's down over the year from 1.7 to 1.3%.
Really?
And we've worked quite hard on we had an executive forum for a while for helping there's more experienced people get back to work. We've been helping with the local colleges on apprenticeships and funding extra apprenticeships as well at the young end, because we have got slightly higher youth unemployment. My concern was always that we don't really know the numbers for youth unemployment, because not everybody possibly says they are unemployed and signs on.
Yeah.
But so pushing that's been quite important. I think we've had quite a lot of success in that. But generally across the city, we've obviously had the first St Albans weekend with the St Albans Day and the road shut on the Sunday and those sorts of things as well to try and make that one of the main weekends. We've had the food and drink.
Yes.
Which went ahead successfully as well.
Yeah.
And you never know, next year I might be able to get some of those stalls from the Christmas market,
Yeah.
those sorts of stalls
Transfer
there
them
as well.
across.
And maybe do something at Easter or summer as well with those sorts of stalls as well, and make more sort of markety type events.
One of the highlights of our year, I have to say, was when we did the Retailer of the Year awards. In the centre. That was great fun, because we were doing an outside broadcast,
Yes.
but also you just felt the sheer energy in the room, didn't we, Clare?
You've got a big crowd there, so you can actually see there are a lot of people that are doing well. They're not. It's not all doom and gloom. A lot of people doing well, very positive. And I think it's good to actually see those people, because generally the papers don't tend to report good news as much as as the doom and gloom. And so it's great to see that, and great to see them all, and they all seem to know each other, which was good, and we're congratulating each other, and it was all just a very positive experience.
It was, and it also made me think about, as we're coming towards the end of the show, the the sheer energy and sort of passion of people. And we're a very positive show. I mean, a lot of media, we think, actually sort of by necessity simplifies things, but also at the same time, tends to focus on some of the bad news. And I think one of the most positive things this year, I don't know if you agree in the next sort of 30 seconds or so, has been actually the development of we're coming out of recession, and I think things are looking good. What do you think, Barry?
I think so, absolutely. Certainly in my field in engineering, things are looking very good. We've got, working with, in St Albans, the professional services, as we call them, with accountants, they're all saying things are going well.
Yeah.
We're working a lot now with BOE and Rothamsted on green technologies, all working together. And lots of people are planning and moving forwards, and that's a key thing.
And definitely the market, what a lovely way to finish the year off, and a lovely positive way to finish the year off, where people are happy, the market's doing well. I'm sure as well the normal street market probably gained from that too, because people coming to the market, the Christmas market, will have wandered up to the street as well.
So. And I think it's a fantastic note on which to end the show. So Merry Christmas to everybody from all of us at The Business.
You've been listening to The Business on Radio Verulam. If there's anything in the show you want to talk to us about, phone us on 01727 839 926 or email thebusiness@radioverulam.com.